From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good Monday morning. We still have a couple wildfires to talk about, so we'll go ahead and get right into it, starting off with the Tiger Creek fire that's still burning outside of Milton Freewater. A lot of big-time progress was made on this fire over the weekend, as it's now 73% contained. Acreage got adjusted as it's now down to just a little bit above 530 acres. Then for the Williams Mine fire that's burning to the south of Mount Adams in southwestern Yakima County, still holding pretty steady at 42% contained. Okay, temperatures this morning, they're cold. They're not too cold, though. 50 for Walla Walla, 41 in the Tri-Cities, 40 in Sunnyside. All of us need a jacket as you're headed out the front door. Here's the bottom line for the forecast. Will be warm and sunny for today, a transitional day for Tuesday, then big-time rain chances in a Wednesday and Thursday, and that'll make our weather overall much cooler into the middle to late portions this week. So I'll tell you how much rainfall we're expecting. Also, I'll tell you just how cool we actually trend. All that's going to be coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, the fisherman who's been missing since October 3rd has been found. We have the latest from officials. And today's Indigenous Peoples Day in the United States, we have what businesses are open and which ones may be closed for today. Also still ahead, we're learning more about the man arrested near former President Donald Trump's campaign rally over the weekend. All the details on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal. It is Monday, October 14th. Happy Monday. We have a lot to get to this morning, so we're going to go ahead and start with an update on a missing person in Grant County. Authorities say Richard Smith, the fisherman who had been missing since October 3rd, has been found. Authorities say Smith's body was recovered from O'Sullivan Reservoir Sunday afternoon. They say they found the body after it came to the surface near where his tackle box and other gear was found last weekend. The Grant County Sheriff's Office says it notified Smith's family and they plan on giving a new update sometime this morning. The cause of death will be determined at a later date. In fire news, Level 2 and Level 3 evacuations for the Squilchuck Road fire remain in effect overnight in Chelan County. So far, no structures have been lost with this fire that's currently 30% contained. Squilchuck Road at Metho Street is closed to 3 traffic. An incident management team is taking over operations this morning, and a new update on the fire is expected after 8 a.m. Any changes in evacuation orders are posted automatically to Chelan County Emergency Management. And fire crews from around the region continue to battle vegetation fires along the interstates and other wooded areas. Over the weekend, there were several calls in Kittitas County, Franklin County, and also Benton County. This vegetation fire that started just off of Road 68 and Chapel Hill Boulevard in Pasco had people using buckets of water to try and put it out before the fire department got to the scene. Officials continue to warn people to obey burn bans and to check for burning allowances in your area. And firefighters with Milton Freewater Rural Fire Department and EMS battled a barn fire early Sunday morning. The fire happened before 5 a.m. on County Road, and at this time, it's unknown if there were any injuries or the extent of the damage. And we'll bring you more information once it's available at applevalleynewsnow.com. In your crime watch, one man has been arrested after a car crash that happened over the weekend. The crash happened on West 4th Avenue and South Olympia Street just before 3:30 Sunday morning. According to authorities, the driver flipped his car after hitting a retaining wall, and he walked away with only minor injuries. The man was taken to the hospital for treatment, and authorities say he is facing a DUI charge for the crash. The Kennewick Police Department is asking for your help in getting information on a case that happened a little more than 3 years ago. On September 21st of 2021, 18-year-old Alyssa Moore was shot and killed near the intersection of 7th Avenue and Kent Street in Kennewick. Investigators say it was a targeted attack and that Moore died from her several gunshot wounds. And authorities say they need people to come forward with any information that they may have from the night of the shooting. As they say, there were many witnesses who saw what happened. The West Richland Police Department is asking for your help in identifying 2 people they believe may have been out prowling over the weekend. According to information released by the department, these 2 people were spotted on surveillance video. Authorities are hoping you can help them identify the 2 by looking at their clothing. And if you can help, please call the non-emergency dispatch number. That's 509-628-0333. Now, several law enforcement agencies were able to arrest a wanted man in Benton City over the weekend. The man is wanted for several felonies, including motor vehicle theft, malicious mischief, and eluding. Authorities say the man was finally arrested in Benton City after he again tried to run from law enforcement. The Benton County Sheriff's Office, Richland Police Department, West Richland Police Department, and the Pasco Police Department, as well as Washington State Patrol, all teamed up to make this arrest happen. In your business news now, could electric airplanes be on the way for the Yakima Airport? A Puget Sound Regional Council regional aviation study forecasted a 2050 capacity shortage of 27 million annual passengers, which means SeaTac Airport will reach full capacity by 2027. However, the Yakima Airport has a plan to help with that. The City of Yakima has requested the Commercial Aviation Coordinating Commission to consider the air terminal as a single preferred location. And we talked with Yakima's airport director, who says they've partnered with 5 other airports, all of them in Western Washington, to start up a small electric aviation system.
You know, once the FAA approves these airplanes for safe flight, the convenience that they're going to experience, the lower cost of the flight. So just imagine, let's say that you live in Olympia, Washington, and it's like a 2-hour drive to get to SeaTac. Or you could just take the 15-minute drive to the Olympia Airport. There's no hassle with parking, no TSA, no ticketing. You carry your own bag and put it on the plane, climb in the plane, and in 30 minutes you're in Yakima. You saved all that time. It's a cheaper flight, cheaper parking. It's just a better traveling experience.
The airport director also says there is more work to be done on this plan, so stay with us for updates. Now, today is Indigenous Peoples Day around the United States, which is also known as Columbus Day, and the day recognizes contributions of those who lived here before Columbus claimed to have discovered it. In 2021, President Biden officially signed a proclamation that federal policies then sought to displace Native American people. Since then, more than 100 cities have replaced Columbus Day altogether. Today is technically a Federal Reserve Bank holiday, but while some schools and banks are closed, markets will be open. And the City of Yakima is celebrating the grand opening of the Hope Center shelters in Yakima, and the event will mark the launch of the first licensed shelter in the area that's dedicated to supporting youth and young adults who are experiencing unsheltered, unsafe, or unhealthy living conditions. The shelter is located at 1011 East Chestnut Avenue, and the celebration is set to get underway at 3 p.m. Governor Jay Inslee and his wife Trudy are expected to attend the event. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, there's just over 3 weeks left to go until the presidential election, and former President Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris both spent the weekend on the campaign trail. We have the latest coming up. But first, Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will have your weather forecast. Good Morning Northwest. We'll be right back.
It's Carl's Jr.'s new Ghost Burger. Layers of soul-scorching sauce, ghost pepper cheese, bacon. It's a spicy charbroiled phenomenon. Watch me make this one vanish. The new Ghost, only at Carl's Jr. Big burger. Good burger.
Wake up, people! Rotten sleep means rotten moods, rotten backs, rotten health. Rotten breath goes without saying, but you're in luck. Because during the incredible value sale, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Check out the Buena Vista. Any size, any model, and save $100. Or get 60 months no interest and free shipping. Kick that rotten sleep to the curb. Only at Denver Mattress. The easiest way to get the right mattress.
When you get hurt on the job, you never know if you're going to get paid by Labor and Industries. Let Bothwell and Hamill fight on your behalf for your workers' comp. We can often increase your compensation. The sooner you call us, the better. If you were hurt at work, let us go to work to get you benefits.
Call 509-584-4411 for a free consultation. Bothwell and Hamill.
Jared Sessler's radical tax plan would make everything cost more. Sessler backs a 30% sales tax on everything you buy.
And Sessler wants taxes and fees to make meat and other foods even more expensive.
Now we've learned that at the height of the border crisis,
Jared Sessler wanted to defund the Border Patrol.
higher taxes and a weaker border, that's Jared Sessler.
More expensive for you,
Less safe for all of us.
Unacceptable for Central Washington.
I'm Dan Newhouse, and I approve this message.
Allen's gonna take it. Touchdown. What an answer by Buffalo. Rodgers half wide open. Touchdown.
The Bills and the Jets tonight at 5, Apple Valley News Now.
Carl's Jr. Big Carl fans know nothing beats the taste of char-grilled beef, American cheese, and Carl's classic sauce. Except getting a second Big Carl for just $1. Buy one, get one for $1. Only at Carl's Jr. Big burger! Good burger.
Hey, good morning, America. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
You don't just see it, you feel it.
I'm in.
I'm in too. I am in. I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'll be here.
Buffalo battles the New York Jets tonight at 5 on Apple Valley News Now. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Okay, so we do have some light haze across the region for this morning. We're not seeing any significant reductions in air quality. We'll put this into motion over the next couple of days with Futurecast. And you can see the area of light haze is going to be shrinking overall throughout the course of today. And then into tonight, it's still going to be pesky for the lower Columbia Basin, also for the Blue Foothills. Now into tomorrow, you'll see that by lunchtime, there's not going to be much on the map. And this in part, in fact, I'd say this is mostly, it could be attributed to the storm system that we have rolling into Tuesday, and then some much more active weather in a Wednesday and Thursday. We'll get to that in a second, but first, here's your day planner for today. It's going to be a nice day, starting off cool, temperatures in the 40s and 50s, 44 in the Tri-Cities, 52 in Walla Walla, and then by the time we get to lunchtime, it should be room temperature out there, feeling even better than that in the sunshine. 68 for Hermiston, 66 for Yakima, 67 in the Tri-Cities, and then into 4 p.m., we should have temperatures into the mid-70s. So for today, in general, have highs in the mid to upper 70s. That'll place us at about 10 degrees above average for the middle of October. Also some light haze, but again, like you saw on that graphic, we're not going to be inundated with smoke or haze for today. And that is going to get kaput as rain chances go way up. Little shower chances into Tuesday, but much better rainfall chances in a Wednesday and Thursday. I'll tell you how much rainfall we're expecting to get out of the storm system coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. In political news this morning, former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris both spent the weekend on the campaign trail. ABC's Christiane Cordero has the latest.
With just over 3 weeks to go, today both presidential campaigns are making their way to Pennsylvania, each holding events in the crucial battleground state. Harris spent her weekend in North Carolina, slamming Trump's mental acuity. The vice president released her medical records and called the former president out for not doing the same. She also went after Trump for turning down another debate.
It makes you wonder, why does his staff want him to hide away? One must question, are they afraid that people will see that he is too weak and unstable?
Before the rally, Harris went to church, urging people to keep the faith, attempting to separate her rhetoric from Trump's.
Instead of offering hope, there are those who are channeling people's tragedies and sorrows into grievance and hatred. Sadly, frankly, the motives are quite transparent, to gain some advantage for themselves.
While on a swing through 3 West Coast states, Trump continued to push the issue of immigration.
If Kamala gets 4 more years, the entire country will be turned into a migrant camp.
The former president promised to hire more border agents, even though he helped kill a bipartisan border security deal that would have funded the hiring of more Customs and Border Patrol agents. He also mocked reporters for implying he's too old or impaired, and on Fox proposed a new threat to use the military against his political opponents.
I think the bigger problem are the people from within. We have some very bad people. We have some sick people, radical left lunatics. And I think they're and it should be very easily handled by, if necessary, by National Guard, or if really necessary, by the military, because they can't let that happen.
The latest ABC News Ipsos poll shows this race remains neck and neck with the economy as the biggest source of dissatisfaction. And despite low unemployment and cooling inflation, 59% say the economy is getting worse. And now we're learning more about a man arrested near former President Donald Trump's campaign rally in Coachella, California on Saturday. Federal officials say as of now, there is no evidence that the man detained before the rally had intentions of attempting to assassinate Trump. The Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco said in a news conference yesterday that deputies stopped 49-year-old Mem Miller of Las Vegas. Miller had made it through the first two perimeters of security, but deputies noticed something was not right when he was sitting in an SUV. When they went to investigate, they found Miller had multiple driver's licenses, passports with different names, and the car he was in was unregistered and had a fake license plate. Authorities also say Miller had a loaded handgun, a shotgun, and ammunition in the vehicle. Miller was detained and jailed on gun charges, but he later posted $5,000 bail and walked free. Miller is claiming to be a journalist and said he was trying to enter the rally. He's scheduled to appear in court in January, and Trump's campaign responded to the events and thanked law enforcement for their help. Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, Florida and North Carolina are rebuilding after the destruction brought on by Hurricane Milton, and we're learning people are desperate for fuel and generators. We have the latest on the aftermath of Milton coming up.
Across our state, we have roads and bridges in desperate need of repair. But Initiative 2117 would make things even worse, slashing funding for infrastructure, putting all of us at risk. 2117 is a bad deal for Washington.
Irresistibly smooth milk chocolate from the Lindt Master Chocolatier. Lindor. Made to melt you. And now, discover a new non-dairy Lindor. Made with oat milk. Made to melt you.
This holiday season, believe in the magic of the North Pole. As you set sail for a holiday adventure like no other, marvel over the stunning light display along the magical journey to meet Santa. Experience the magic that only happens on Lake Coeur d'Alene. Even the Grinch can't resist the holiday cheer. Book during Santa's sneak peek week and enjoy 25% off tickets from November 15th to November 27th and discover the magic of the holiday season.
Dear Unleashed. No one knows the feeling of freedom quite the way you do. But damned if we don't come really, really close. Let's break the chain. Yours, Tundra.
Right now, you can lease a new 2024 Tundra for just $469 per month. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
For 17 years, Senator Curtis King has delivered for you. That's why the media calls Curtis King the Republican in Olympia most likely to pass a bill. Senator King uses those relationships to do things like fund a new swimming pool in Yakima's MLK Park and helped Heritage University in the Lower Valley grow. Curtis King helped Toppenish Astria Hospital keep their doors open. And he delivered funding for Pasco's Lewis Street project.
I'm Curtis King, and I'd appreciate your vote.
For us, protecting the land means everything. It's our homestead and legacy. But Initiative 2117 puts our air and water at risk, and cuts to transportation funding will make it harder to move products. 2117 is a bad deal for Washington.
Aren't you just a spoonful of sugar?
Young Sheldon, tonight at 11:05. Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Okay, today is going to be a pretty nice day out there. Plenty of sunshine, just light haze, and it's going to be warm as well. Have highs at about 10 degrees above average, 75 in Walla Walla, 77 for the Tri-Cities, 77 in Sunnyside. Again, there is a little chance for some showers up into the Cascades, but that's likely going to be into the late afternoon. And those showers will persist for tonight. Other than that, we'll start to see some clouds picking up in the Kittitas and Yakima valleys, but should stay pretty clear in the lower Columbia Basin and in the Blue Foothills, other than some more light haze. Overnight lows dropping down into the 40s and 50s, 52 in Walla Walla, 47 in the Tri-Cities. Tri-Cities, 46 degrees for Sunnyside. Okay, into tomorrow, some of those shower chances will start to spread to the east of the Cascades, maybe impacting the valleys into the mid-afternoon, maybe the mid to late evening in the lower Columbia Basin and also for the Blue Foothills. I do have a feeling that these times will be tweaked overall, but that's just sort of a general idea for tomorrow. And all in all, these are small shower chances for Tuesday, much better rainfall chances in a Wednesday and Thursday. That's storm system number 1 will be tracking for this week. Then storm system number 2 will be in a Saturday and Sunday. But let's take it one storm system at a time. Here's some of those early rainfall projections for Wednesday and Thursday. This is also subject to change, but maybe between 1 inch to 1.5 inches for the mountains, the Cascades, that is, maybe between 1/2 inch to 1 inch for the Blue Mountains, and then anywhere between 1/10 to 1/2 inch for the lower Columbia Basin and the Blue Foothills. Not much at all for the valleys. And look at what happens to our temperatures in the wake of this. We struggle to even make it out of the 50s by Thursday and Friday in the Tri-Cities. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. We'll see big rain chances for Wednesday and Thursday, and then maybe some more into Saturday and Sunday. High slipping down into the 60s starting on Wednesday, getting pretty close to freezing by Friday morning. Then in Yakima, lots of rain chances this week. They'll peak on Wednesday and Thursday and Saturday and Sunday. Struggling to make it out of the 50s by Thursday and Friday, and look at that, will likely be below freezing for Friday morning. Then in Ellensburg, winds really picking up in a Wednesday, a little bit calmer in a Thursday, but lots of rain in the forecast for this week, trending much cooler by the end of the week. Then in Hermiston, we'll go through the exact same pattern, winds picking up for Wednesday and Thursday, rain chances going up, temperatures going down, and then for Walla Walla, it's looking like it's going to be the exact same thing with wet weather likely peaking for Wednesday and Thursday.
Thank you, Josh. We go now to weather news across Florida and North Carolina, where people are rebuilding their lives after 2 historic hurricanes. President Biden has announced $600 million in new funding, but for some storm survivors, money cannot buy comfort or hope, at least not yet. ABC's Allison Kosick has the details.
Long lines of cars stretch through the streets of St. Petersburg, with people desperate for gas to fuel not only their cars, but also generators in the wake of Hurricane Milton. Gas shortages are easing, with more deliveries arriving, but 500,000 customers in Florida remained without power overnight.
We're going to do everything we can to get power back in your home.
President Biden surveying the damage yesterday, announcing $612 million in relief funds, including money to strengthen the power grid. Governor DeSantis deploying 2,800 workers to remove debris over the next 90 days. Work also covered by federal funds.
We got approved for what we wanted.
Entire communities are in shambles after the disaster. One man recounting the terrifying moments his family faced after a transformer exploded outside their home.
We got to get out of here. My wife grabbed the baby and we ended up coming out of the garage. I had to pull the emergency thing and just kind of throw it up, and then we hauled Bud out of here.
When they returned, they found this massive sinkhole had opened up. The devastating storm came just 2 weeks after Hurricane Helene. Up to 100,000 homes and businesses in North Carolina are still without running water, and it could take weeks to fully restore service. Volunteers are going door to door with buckets to flush toilets. Aid is pouring in from across the country. Volunteers are also installing solar-powered generators. Back in Florida, some people were asked after so many storms, why rebuild? Many people saying because of the people, their neighbors, their communities.
Community is the best part, though. Everybody helping each other.
As a result of the storms, analysts predict home insurance rates will rise nationwide. And coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, we're looking at what movies did well this weekend and which ones are flopping. We'll get you all caught up in just a few minutes. And speaking of catching up, we're not listening to it right now. Actually, we'll be right back.
Now's the time to get a great deal on taking care of your property. You need the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. so you can do it all and do it right. Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and Sidekick utility vehicles where durability meets speed. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0% APR for up to 84 months.
Find a Kubota dealer near you at gokubota.com.
I got sandwiched between two trucks and trailers.
The insurance company tried to trick Michael.
The worst part was they hired a private investigator to stalk me for 2 years.
But he knew my number, 853-2222.
He taught him a lesson. We both taught him a lesson.
I made the insurance company pay.
He got me 5 times more than what I expected. This law firm is the best in Yakima, period.
The heavy hitter is the one for you. Call 853-2222.
I had surgery as a child that I barely remember, but decades later, the insurance company called that a pre-existing condition and denied me long-term care insurance. Washington State created a long-term care benefit to help millions of people like me afford the care we need. But I-2124 will take that benefit away, leaving millions with no way to get or afford long-term care. If it can happen to me, it can happen to anybody. That's why we all have to vote no on I-2124.
Give snow the boot with the new Husqvarna snowblower from Liberty Lawn & Saw. Built for reliable performance year after year, Husqvarna snowblowers are easy to use on those cold winter days. Work smarter, not harder, with features like electric start and remote chute rotator. Plus, Husqvarna snowblowers offer a 5-year warranty, 5 on the engine and 5 years guaranteed to start. So blow winter away this year. See the complete line of Husqvarna snowblowers at Liberty Lawn & Saw in West Richland.
Our hometown. It's more than the regions we live in or the roads we drive on. It's a camaraderie, a belonging. It's working together to be a part of something bigger. All October long, bring a non-perishable food donation to McCurley dealerships or find a specially packed food donation bag at any local Yolks Fresh market. You are driving change in our community. That's what makes home, home.
From all of us at McCurley Subaru, thank you for helping us give back.
Buffalo battles the New York Jets tonight at 5 on Apple Valley News Now.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. It's time for some entertainment news, and we're looking at this weekend's box office.
Yeah, a movie about a killer clown took the top spot, and The Joker didn't do so well. Here's ABC's Chuck Silverstein with more.
Terrifier 3, a slasher featuring Art the Killer Clown, was the #1 movie at box offices, taking in over $18 million in its premiere weekend. That meant a sad face for another clown, Joker, Folie à Deux, relegated to 3rd place with just over $7 million, an 81% dip from last weekend's disappointing opening. #2 in ticket sales, the animated family flick Wild Robot, which netted about $13.5 million. Stars of the Wild Robot talked on the red carpet at the London Film Festival. Lupita Nyong'o plays the robot, Roz, who gets shipwrecked on a deserted island and must learn to adapt by forging relationships with the native animals. One of Roz's friends is a fox named Fink, voiced by Pedro Pascal. Grammy and other awards-winning country music star Lainey Wilson will perform live at the halftime show during the Dallas Cowboys Thanksgiving Day game against the New York Giants in Arlington, Texas. It's the most watched regular season game of the year, 42 million viewers last year. A news release says Wilson will feature songs from her new album Whirlwind and a special surprise guest. Celebrity birthday, Usher turns 46 today. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
It's Usher's birthday, and we've got some Usher songs throughout our show today because Usher is he's just a classic. So many classic songs. You've got Confessions, Burn. What is your favorite song?
Usher, baby. Peace
Usher,
out,
baby.
A-Town Down.
Yeah, okay.
Probably that one.
Well, coming up next on Good Morning Northwest at 5:30, Washington-based Boeing has been in hot water lately, and now the company is saying it's planning on cutting its workforce. Details are ahead. Also, there's a high chance you can feel the effects of smoke pollution both inside your home and outside. We have some simple steps that you can take to improve your air quality. It's all in the next half hour, but first, here are your Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, a cheaper Apple VR headset may be on the way. Reports say Apple may launch a $2,000 version of its $3,500 Vision Pro next year. The new model would use cheaper materials and lack some features.
Next, video game platform Steam is telling users they don't actually own the games they buy. A new notice during checkout explains that a purchase only grants a license. This change is likely due to a new California law requiring digital companies to be upfront about ownership. Finally, Microsoft is letting users stream games they own on Xbox Cloud Gaming, not just Game Pass titles. Testing starts in November with plans to expand it soon after. If all goes well, users could soon stream thousands of games from their own collections. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day. I'm Allison Cossack.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, you know, to check your school's saying first before saying it.
High tide! High tide, guys! High tide! High tide! High tide! High tide!
It's roll tide.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
No more gross cough syrup.
I'll want you to feel better.
I want extra TV time or I'll walk.
How about this?
Introducing the Only Kids Soft Chew for medicated cough relief. New Mucinex Children's Mighty Chews are mighty clever.
Every year, millions of noses are ghosted by their plugins. New Airwick Advanced, our groundbreaking plugin that pulses scent for staying power up to 60 days, plus a fragrance boost button. Our noses won't be ignored again.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest, on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
All right, Josh, so we need some rain here, but we're still not getting any, are we?
Yes, we are.
We are? We're getting some rain? Oh.
Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. Those are our best rain chances over the next 7 days, and we'll even have some little shower chances in the forecast for Tuesday. Let's go ahead and take a live look right now at Yakima. This view coming courtesy of Weimar, all the city lights down below, and we're going to see plenty of sunshine from this view later today, but not as much a little bit later in the week. Right now, temperatures are down into the 40s and 50s, so it's feeling cool out there. Definitely not the coldest morning we've seen though over the past couple of weeks. 50 for Walla Walla, 41 in the Tri-Cities, 41 in Sunnyside. You'll need some sort of jacket as you're walking out the front door. I'm going to personally go with a heavy jacket for this morning, light jacket stuff by the late morning, and you'll be able to shed those layers pretty quickly as it's going to be plenty of t-shirt weather for lunchtime and beyond that, especially in the sunshine. So for today, we're going to have highs that'll be about 10 degrees above average for this time of the year. 77 in the Tri-Cities, 78 in Hermiston, 76 in Yakima. But like me and Jessica were just talking about, there is rainfall on the way for later this week. And I'll show you what that could do to our drought situation. And that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Now we start this half hour off in health-related news. We're learning that gun-related injuries are the #1 cause of death for American children and adolescents. This is according to a new study published in JAMA Pediatrics. Here's ABC News' Melissa Adon with more.
Researchers from the Gun Violence Research Center at Rutgers University conducted a survey with almost 900 parents in 9 different states with varying gun laws. The study found parents who said they practiced proper firearm handling with their kids were more likely to keep at least one gun unlocked and loaded with bullets in the house. The odds of a parent storing their gun unsafely was 2 times higher if they let their children practice holding the gun and shooting it under their supervision. While it seems counterintuitive, researchers wonder if this is because parents think teaching gun safety means it's not as important to lock the guns up. The Department of Justice advises 4 steps for safely storing firearms: unload guns, disassemble them, store bullets and guns separately, and lock them up securely. With this Medical Minute, I'm Melissa Adon.
In 2023, more than 2,500 children and teens in the United States died from gun violence, and that's up 2% from 2022. And also 56% of gun deaths were suicides. In more statewide news, Washington-based Boeing says it's planning to cut about 10% of the company workforce. Boeing has more than 170,000 employees worldwide, with the majority of those in the U.S. Now, this move is part of the plan to cut costs by its new CEO, Kelly Ortberg, who took over back in August. Ortberg says Boeing needs to refocus resources and not spread itself too thin. Workers who are on strike say this is just another blow to those who are already employed by the company.
It's going to hurt a lot of people, hurt a lot of families, and a lot of people are going to be out of jobs and out of work.
Talks between Boeing and the Machinist Union broke down last week. Boeing has reported core operating losses of more than $33 billion, and that's from the time its 737 MAX plane was grounded for 20 months following 2 fatal crashes. Now, even if you don't live near an active wildfire, there is a good chance that you can see and feel the effects of smoke and dust pollution both outside and inside your home. Consumer Reports experts share some simple steps that you can take to improve your air quality.
As wildfires rip through acres of land, they leave a storm of smoke and dust pollution in their wake. The smoke from wildfires can travel hundreds, even thousands of miles, affecting the air inside your home.
An air purifier is a good first line of defense inside of your home when combating smoke caused by wildfires.
Tanya Christian covers indoor air quality for Consumer Reports. She works with testers to rate the effectiveness of dozens of air purifiers. In its labs, CR injects contaminants like smoke and dust into a controlled chamber to see how well an air purifier reduces the number of particles in the air. The faster an air purifier can remove those particles, the better the score. This Blue air purifier was one of the best in CR's tests for removing dust, pollen, and smoke from larger rooms. CR says for maximum effectiveness, you should keep the fabric pre-filter off. For less money, this Honeywell is also great at removing dust, pollen, and smoke particles, but only on its highest speed setting. But an air purifier isn't the only way you can protect yourself.
So air purifiers really work best when you're using them with other methods that help improve your indoor air quality.
Here's how to maximize the effectiveness of an air purifier. Close and seal windows and doors with weather stripping or even masking tape if that's all you have on hand. Spend most of your time in a room with few or no windows and avoid rooms with vents to the outside. Finally, if you're dealing with an active wildfire or lots of smoke pollution, CR says you should keep your air purifier running 24/7 and change the filter as soon as the indicator light comes on. This is Teresa Hope.
Consumer Reports says you want to also keep in mind that indoor smoke sources from fireplaces, candles, and incense, even nearby pollution outside of your home, can all affect indoor air quality. So it's a good idea to minimize those if you want to further limit your exposure to air pollution. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, NASA is set to explore a potential world for life beyond Earth, and it's one of Jupiter's 95 moons. We have more on that after the break. And in theme for our next story, we're listening to Fly Me to the Moon by Frank Sinatra. And fun facts for your Monday morning, on this day in 1969, a warrant was issued in New Jersey for the arrest of Frank Sinatra for his connections with the mafia. And 1969 is also the year where Neil Armstrong became the first person to step onto the moon.
Buffalo battles the New York Jets tonight at 5 on Apple Valley News Now.
You get in a car wreck and call the insurance company and get nowhere. Stop wasting your time. Just make one more call to 853-2222. They can't ignore my demand to pay you all the money you deserve.
Call 853-2222.
Elevate the holidays with Water to Wine cruises. Experience the holiday season with Northwest wines and fine cuisine on our luxury yacht. Join one of our unique holiday cruises. Book today at watertowinecruises.com.
Discover Curve Appeal in Kennewick, your personalized med spa. Experience our one-on-one services and treatments designed to make you look and feel your best. From laser hair removal or electrolysis to Botox or body contouring and laser treatments, we tailor our services to your unique needs. Our medical professionals ensure you leave feeling refreshed and rejuvenated. Ready to look and feel your best? Visit curveappealtc.com to schedule your consultation.
Your lawn demands a lot out of you all summer long, but now you can demand a lot out of your equipment with the E-Force line from Echo. The max-out technology inside every Echo trimmer keeps it running so you can get the job done, and the long-lasting battery power that Echo provides will make your lawn the envy of the neighborhood. So what are you waiting for? See the complete line of Echo E-Force products at Liberty Lawn and Saw on Van Giesen in West Richland or online at libertylawnandsaw.com.
Sometimes life is a funny way of turning sideways, like when your kid decides they're a professional stylist the morning of picture day, or when your to-do list isn't quite done.
You went to Rite Aid, right?
Or when you're sure you packed everything you need, but you actually need one more thing.
We forgot our prescriptions. We got you. Are we happy?
We are happy. Find everything you need?
Yep. Yeah, life never really goes the way you plan, but that's why we're here. It means more at Rite Aid.
It's the last game on the road before the Kraken return home. The team's headed to Nashville, and you can watch with us for free. Kraken Predators, pregame at 4:30 p.m. Tuesday on Apple Valley News Now.
You get in a car wreck and call the insurance company and get nowhere. Stop wasting your time. Just make one more call to 853-2222. They can't ignore my demands to pay you all the money you deserve.
Call 853-2222.
High Potential is a must-watch.
You see?
Caitlin Olsen is fantastic.
I'm just out here super copping.
And Tuesday.
It's my girls. Their father was supposed to drop them off last night. He never showed up.
I know who took the girls.
High Potential, new Tuesday on ABC.
It's a celebration of love and inspiration.
It was wonderful.
Our dancing stars pay tribute on dedication night.
Plus the return of Derek and Haley Huff.
This was beautiful.
Dancing with the Stars, live Tuesday at 8/7 Central.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Okay, today's going to be a day that will feature some shower chances up in the Cascades, especially into the late afternoon. But to the east of there, we should stay dry for today. Plenty of sunshine in the forecast, and we'll have a little bit of light haze out there. Also, it's going to be warm for today. 75 in Ellensburg, 70 for Cle Elum, 77 for Vantage. And then in the Yakima Valley, we'll also see temperatures in the mid to upper 70s, 77 for Grandview and for Sunnyside, and for Toppenish, a little bit cooler in Yakima, just 76. And then in the lower Columbia Basin, we'll also see mid to upper 70s, 77 for the Tri-Cities, 78 in Hermiston, 77 in Prosser. Light winds across the map for today, and then we'll also see those mid to upper 70s in the foothills of the Blues. 78 for Milton Freewater, 78 for Pilot Rock, 73 degrees for Heppner. Also, I think I already touched on this, but light haze for today. We're not expecting any big-time reductions in air quality. Now let's talk about that storm system in a Wednesday and Thursday. Here is what we're expecting in terms of a rainfall deficit, the before and after. And of course, we're way below average right now in terms of our rainfall for the 2024-2025 season. But on the back side of this storm system, I'm thinking we're still going to be running rainfall deficits, but easily cutting into those deficits, but still about 80 to 90% below average in the Kittitas and Yakima valleys, but spanning anywhere between 30 to 50% below average for the lower Columbia Basin and the Blue Foothills, so making progress in that regard.
Thank you, Josh. All right, check this out now. So NASA says it could launch the largest spacecraft it's ever built for a planetary mission as early as this afternoon.
It's called the Europa Clipper, and a SpaceX Falcon Heavy rocket is set to give it a lift from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida.
Amy Kiley reports its destination is a moon that scientists think might be able to sustain life.
This is going to pave the way for the future.
NASA's biggest planetary mission spacecraft to date is set to explore a potentially habitable place for life beyond Earth. The Europa Clipper is named after its destination, an icy moon of Jupiter.
We scientists have been dreaming about a mission like Europa Clipper for more than 20 years.
Scientists think the moon Europa is one of the best bets in the solar system for sustaining life. Under its surface, they believe it has an ocean, with tides from Jupiter's gravity that produce heat.
Scientists believe Europa has the suitable conditions below its icy surface to support life. Those conditions are water energy, chemistry, and stability.
NASA says the Europa Clipper carries 9 instruments for testing those conditions, along with a gravity experiment.
Given everything that we've really learned about necessary conditions for life, Clipper is going to tell us if Europa has all of these ingredients for life.
But don't expect that data tomorrow. The journey between Earth and Europa spans about 1.8 billion miles.
It's going to be another 10 years because Jupiter's so far away until we have all the science in the bag.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
And just yesterday, SpaceX completed another feat. It launched the most powerful rocket ever built.
It then managed to bring back the rocket's 20-story high booster and catch it with those huge metal arms, just like these guys.
Well, coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, there's a big change happening in the wedding industry as seamstresses have to make more last-minute alterations because brides are burning more weight. Why this is coming up in your morning sprint.
And speaking of burning weight, this song might make you want to jam out and burn some calories. We're listening to Burn by Usher Baby as we head to break. The superstar is celebrating.
Okay.
He's just celebrating.
He's celebrating.
Apple Valley News Now is home to great shows like Shark Tank, Jimmy Kimmel, and Judy Justice.
And I'm just getting started.
And we're home to the #1 news on television, ABC World News Tonight with David Muir, plus award-winning local news, including the First Alert Weather Team. And we lead the way in sports with NFL Monday Night Football, college football, including the SEC, and just added the Seattle Kraken. We're Apple Valley News Now, proudly serving South Central Washington and Northern Oregon on your side.
I've been with U.S. Cellular for 27 years. They've always taken care of me. But when they asked me to talk to you about their special customer event, Us Days, I said, I gotta get in shape. So they sent me this Hollywood trainer. Oh, this guy's no joke. Us Days means exclusive deals just for us customers.
Now let's try burpees. Us Days is back at U.S. Cellular. Current customers get $1,200 off any phone, plus $400 off any tablet.
Welcome to Chris's Recovery Shop.
Is your boat upholstery starting to look worn or has tears? From tops to seats to panels, we have you covered. Do you own a business and need repairs to seats or furniture? From agricultural to restaurant, we have you covered. Got a classic car that needs a little interior TLC? From seats to armrests and panels, we have you covered here too.
Chris's Recovery Shop in Yakima,
where we keep a good thing going.
Irresistibly smooth milk chocolate from the Lindt Master Chocolatier. Lindor. Made to melt you. And now, discover a new non-dairy Lindor. Made with oat milk. Made to melt you.
It's the home makeover sale at Furniture Row, where the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Plus, find unbeatable deals, like the Trinity sofa, only $3.99. Save big on the Grayson panel bed, only $4.99. Get the 5-piece Acorn Hill dining set for only $5.49. And save $100 on the Buena Vista, any size, any model. Or get more bang for your buck with 60 months no interest. The home makeover sale, on now at Furniture Row.
Kraken Predators, pregame at 4:30 Tuesday on Apple Valley News Now. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Okay, today is going to be a mostly sunny day, although we could have some showers up in the Cascades into the late afternoon. But to the east of there, should be dry, mostly sunny, light haze up in the sky, and very warm for today. We'll be about 10 degrees above average for this time of the year, as in between the mountains we'll end up in the mid to upper 70s. And then for tonight, showers will persist up in the Cascades, but to the east of there, we should keep it dry. Clouds will be a little bit more pesky in the valleys, but to the east of there, clear skies with more light haze and overnight lows in general down into the 40s and 50s. Okay, we have these little shower chances into tomorrow. Here's the general timing, at least what we're thinking for tomorrow. This is what the consensus of models thinks. It's going to be in the afternoon, in which we could see some showers in the valleys, and after that, and then in the basin and the foothills, it would be into the evening and after that. Again, this is a pretty generalized time frame, and this is subject to change over the next 24 hours. So little shower chances on Tuesday, big time rain chances on Wednesday and Thursday. That's going to be storm system number 1, and then we're tracking storm system number 2 into Saturday and Sunday, but one storm system at a time. So here are some of the rainfall projections we're expecting for Wednesday and Thursday. Maybe upwards of 1 inch to 1.5 inches for the Cascades, maybe upwards of 1 inch for the Blue Mountains. Definitely less than that in between the mountains, but we could get some tangible stuff for the basin and for the foothills. Also, in the wake of this storm system, it is going to get very cool, down into the low 60s in the Tri-Cities by Thursday and Friday. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Big rain chances Wednesday and Thursday. More showers possible Saturday and Sunday. Highs down into the 60s Wednesday and beyond. Lows in the 30s Thursday and Friday night. Then for Yakima, a small shower chance on Tuesday. That turns into a much better rain chance for Wednesday and Thursday. We start off in the 70s this week, down into the 50s Thursday and Friday. Lows around 30 Thursday night. Then in Ellensburg, little shower chances Tuesday, more substantial rain chances Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. Winds pick up Wednesday and Thursday, leaving freezing lows in their wake by Friday morning. And then for Hermiston, wet weather looking likely Wednesday and Thursday, maybe some more of the same this weekend. Much cooler by the mid to late week, lows adjacent to freezing by Thursday night. Then for Walla Walla, dry Monday and Tuesday, but rain likely Wednesday and Thursday. Maybe some more wet weather this weekend, and highs in the mid 70s for Monday, but will be about 20 degrees cooler by Thursday and Friday.
Now, the morning sprint.
Time is now 5:50. It's time for your morning sprint in our 5 o'clock hour. And first up, here are the top 5 local stories you need to know this morning. Starting off, authorities say the body of Richard Smith has been recovered from O'Sullivan Reservoir. They say they found the body after it came to the surface near to where his tackle box and other gear was found last weekend. The Grand County Sheriff's Office says it's notified Smith's family and they plan on giving an update sometime this morning. The cause of death will be determined at a later time. The West Richland Police Department is asking for your help in identifying 2 people they believe may have been prowling over the weekend. According to the department, these 2 were spotted on surveillance video, and authorities are hoping you can help them identify the 2 by looking at their clothing. If you can help, please call non-emergency dispatch. That number is 509-628-0333. The Kennewick Police Department is asking for your help in getting information on a case that happened a little more than 3 years ago. 18-year-old Alyssa Moore was shot and killed on September 22, 2021, near the intersection of 7th Avenue and Kent Street in Kennewick. Authorities say they need people to come forward with any information they may have from the night of the shooting. The city of Yakima is celebrating the grand opening of their Hope Center shelters. The event will mark the launch of the first licensed shelter in the area that's dedicated to supporting youth and young adults. The celebration is set to get underway at 3 p.m. today. Governor Inslee and his wife Trudy are expected to be at the event. Today is Indigenous Peoples Day around the U.S., also known as Columbus Day, and the day recognizes contributions of those who lived here before Columbus claimed to have discovered it. In 2021, President Biden officially signed a proclamation that federal policies then sought to displace Native American people. In your national headlines this morning, we're learning more about a man arrested near former President Donald Trump's campaign rally in Coachella, California. Federal officials say there is no evidence the man had any intention of trying to assassinate the former president. 49-year-old Ben Miller was stopped by deputies after he was spotted inside an SUV. Deputies say Miller had multiple driver's licenses and passports with different names, and the vehicle was unregistered and had a fake license plate. Deputies also say he had a loaded handgun, a shotgun, and ammunition in his car. NASA says it could launch the largest spacecraft it's ever built for a planetary mission as early as this afternoon. The Europa Clipper is named after its destination, which is an icy moon of Jupiter. A SpaceX Falcon Heavy rocket is set to give it a lift from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida, and the journey between Earth and Europa spans about 1.8 billion miles. In your business news, Halloween spending is expected to reach $11.6 billion in the U.S. this year. The primary drivers of Halloween spending are candy, decorations, and costumes. Consumers are expected to spend an average of about $103.63 per person. This year, many retailers are getting into the spooky season earlier than ever before, with some that started selling Halloween merchandise as early as June. Airfares to some of the world's most gorgeous beaches are now a lot cheaper. The location that came out on top was the Mediterranean resort in the city of Nice, and fares to the city fell by 27%. But if you want to travel a little closer to the U.S., you can head to Castries, St. Lucia, and Bridgetown, Barbados, and fares to those locations dropped by 25% and 24% respectively. In your health headlines, the FDA is working to address the shortage of 3 drugs. This after a major manufacturer was significantly affected by Hurricane Helene. Baxter International's North Cove site, located just east of Asheville, North Carolina, is one of the largest manufacturers of IV fluids and dialysis solutions in the U.S. And today the agency says dextrose 70% IV solution, lactated Ringer's IV solution, and peritoneal dialysis solution are not commercially available in adequate supply to meet national demand. The shortage has led some hospitals across the U.S. to ration their supplies and even postpone some surgeries. And according to a detailed letter from her physician that was released by the White House, Vice President Kamala Harris is in excellent health and is fit to serve as president. This letter comes as Harris is trying to draw a contrast between herself and former President Donald Trump, who's 78 years old, and if Trump wins the election, he'll become the oldest person ever elected to the Oval Office, and he has not released his medical records at this time. In your sports headlines, the NCAA is calling on fans to stop abusing athletes on social media after its first online harassment study. The study looked at more than 72,000 posts aimed at players, coaches, and officials, and it focuses on Division I championships. Analysts who reviewed the messages say more than 5,000 contained abuse, discrimination, or threats, and they say a large portion of those messages were aimed at female March Madness athletes. In hockey news, if you missed last night's game, the Kraken played the Dallas Stars and lost with the final score 0-2 the Stars. And the next Kraken game will be tomorrow against the Nashville Predators at 5 p.m. All right, in trending news, the increasing popularity of weight loss drugs is having an effect on the bridal industry.
With drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy, brides are quickly shedding pounds. That, in turn, is putting pressure on seamstresses and designers to make more alterations, oftentimes at the last minute.
Well, I guess it's kind of a good thing. So those changes can be time-consuming and expensive, especially considering how many wedding dresses are intricate with layers of beading and material. And some brides who experience extreme weight loss could end up needing to purchase a new dress entirely.
With more brides turning to such drugs, dress alterations could get even more challenging and more expensive.
It should be noted that the Food and Drug Administration has warned consumers of risk associated with unapproved GLP-1 drugs. I mean, that's something the brides would probably be happy about, right? You know, if they can get it altered in time.
I guess so. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
Hopefully I don't have that problem in the future. I don't think I
don't think you will.
Yeah. Look, coming up next on Good Morning Northwest at 6, a group of teens are arrested in connection to 80 robberies in the state of Washington. We have the details coming up at 6:30.
And I'll have an update on the Tiger Creek fire, and also I'll show you a big-time change to our weather pattern in the forecast for this week. That's going to be coming up at 6.